Alright, y'all, so today I wanted to do a very quick video discussing the new official trailer for Tron Ares. Just dropped today, and just kind of want to give you my reactions and thoughts. Um, well, to give you a little background and context, I'm a huge Tron fan, right? I kind of view Tron as like a sleeper hit, like a cult franchise by Disney. Like films that like have done like extremely well after the fact, like they've gained cult followings, but have never done like incredibly huge box office numbers, right? I really like the first Tron. It's pretty solid. I really like Tron Legacy even more. It was a great and underrated sequel. And for a while, that's really what happened with Tron. It was kind of just a dead franchise. Disney was going to do nothing with it. There were plans for a third film, but for whatever reason, these plans kept getting stalled. And now we're finally getting a Tron film with Jared Leto helming it as the producer, and I think the lead actor as well. And we got this new film, Tron Ares. They dropped a teaser a few months ago. I was kind of very skeptical of this movie, just to be honest with you. I thought that it was kind of like, I don't know about Jared Leto and Tron. I think it's a pretty weird combination. But I saw the teaser they dropped a few months ago, and I was very impressed by it. I thought it was a very solid teaser. It presented a really cool and interesting possibilities for what they were going to do with the story here. Visually, it looked pretty good. They also had some pretty cool people doing the soundtrack as well, so it looked promising. And then they just dropped the trailer today, and my initial reaction to it is, wow. I mean, wow, this was a great trailer. We got to not only learn more about the story, but we got more of like other actors' appearances and just more of the visual effects. The visual effects look stunning. And to be honest with you, like I said, I would expect so, just because Tron Legacy was such a high and great looking film. So I would hope that a sequel to that would be great looking, and it looks great. I mean, the grid itself, the scenes that we see in the trailer, look great. I love the part 2 in the trailer where Kevin Flynn, Jeff Bridges' character, he shows up in his like white cloak, kind of similar to Tron Legacy. Weirdly showing up in a part of the grid that looks very similar to the 1982 Tron grid, which I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if anyone else picked up on that, but I just thought that was a very interesting cue right there. But man, I kind of tweaked when I saw him there, bro. I was like, man, that's Kevin, bro. That's like the guy that's been in every one of these Tron films, and it's great. We got a bit more of the story. We kind of figure out that they're bringing in programs from this version of the grid into the real world. There's some kind of program called Ares, and he's apparently wanting to he was designed for one thing, but he really wants to become free and figure out how to live. And there's like a brief conversation between him and Kevin in the trailer, and I thought it was a very interesting conversation. And I think, I don't know, to me, like, people have said this is like Pinocchio, and yeah, it's basically Tron's version of Pinocchio, it sounds like, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think you can do a lot of possibilities with that story, and overall, from what I see in the trailer, it looks pretty good. Jared Leto, despite all the controversies that come alongside with him, right, I think he looks pretty good in the trailer. And some of the visual effects, like I said, look amazing. I love this new like speeder bike that's like in the grid. Like they use it in the trailer as well. I've never seen that before in Tron. It looks crazy cool. And I already said this before, I think in the past when I talked to some friends about it, but I love the fact that they're bringing it back to the red aesthetic from like the original Tron. Because like I like the orange one and the blue one from Legacy, but I always felt that the red matched more of the villains, right? It matched more of the evil programs on the grid. So yeah, I think it looks pretty great. The visuals look great. I love the last shot, especially with like seeing more of the programs in the real world and seeing like that recognizer shoot out all those missiles, and the way they kind of shoot out with their little light trails. It looks like pun intended. It looks like a grid, right? It looks like a motherboard to a computer with a bunch of circuits. It looks beautiful, right? I mean, it looks great. And the story does sound pretty interesting. The acting, so far in the trailer looks pretty solid. Visually, it looks stunning. And even the soundtrack itself sounds pretty good according to the trailer, right? So I don't know. I'm very excited for this movie. I think this is probably my most anticipated Disney film that's coming out this year. Like I said, I have some bias because I'm a huge Tron fan. So I don't know. I thought the trailers, surprisingly, they all looked pretty good for this film. Um, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, the movie's gonna be great because of it, because the trailer could come out and like, oh my god, the movie sucks. But I think overall it looks pretty great. So yeah, that's my initial thoughts on the Tron Ares trailer. Very excited for this film. Yeah, just want to give you my quick thoughts. All right, peace, y'all.